Hi everyone and happy Easter and welcome back to my channel. This week we're going to be drawing ellipses and cylinders. First of all, you need the normal nice sharp pencil, any pencil you have, a pencil sharpener, an eraser, and of course some copy paper, or if you have a sketchbook you can use that. I'm writing down circles first, and you might think, well, we did that a couple of weeks ago. But in fact, to draw an ellipse, you start with a circle, as I will show you in a minute. So I'm drawing around, it's just a powder puff, but you can draw around any disc, circular disc that you've got. Now, as you tilt it, you'll notice it goes into an ellipse and it goes all the way around in a complete circle and comes back to where it was. So we're going to try and draw the ellipses as they would from complete circle right back to straight line. I'm just drawing it out and dividing it into 4, which makes it easier because you need to know the centre. And then you just draw the curvy line. Now I'm much better at drawing the top left and the top right than I am at doing the bottom ones. The worst one is for me is the bottom left. Now if I was drawing normally, I would turn the paper so that I was just really drawing another top one. But because I'm filming, I can't actually do that. So you always find that my bottom left hand one is a little bit out. And ellipses are not my favourite things to draw, and I must admit I'm not the best at them. So there we have your circle, and then next it's going to be very slightly tilted. And there's my left hand one again, and sorry about that, you can hear my husband cutting down. No, he in fact is drilling a piece of wood in the garden, so apologies for that. You also might be able to hear the birds when he's not drilling. So we've drawn another ellipse. And we carry on down. I'm going to draw 10. So starting from the circle, it will go gradually, and the 10th one will be a straight line. And I'm actually going to close the window. Window closed, that might be marginally better, but sorry, you can still hear it. So I'm just drawing another column because I couldn't get all 10 in one column. And each time I am making the ellipse smaller by ½ centimetre each time. So this is the tiniest ellipse. And then the last one is going to be the straight line. So that's all 10. I'm going to ink over the top so that you can see them more clearly. it's really difficult to get the left and right hand edges of an ellipse so that they're not pointed, so they're rounded. And sometimes it helps actually to just draw them faster. So there, I've numbered them all, and you can see I've drawn an arrow which just shows how it carries on, as my paper wasn't long enough. Now what will happen with the ellipses, of course, if you flip them back the other way, it will carry on until you've gone back to the full circle again. Now we're going to draw cylinders, and this is just a glass tumbler, and there's a smaller one, and these are just examples of things you can find around the home that are cylinders. This is a herb jar and a baking powder carton, and here we have a bottle of craft paint, which is interesting because it's 2 cylinders. The cap is one and the bottle another, and finally a cup. If you actually find some things that are cylinders around your house and look at them and turn them around so that you can see the ellipses in the tops and the bottoms. So to start with, to draw a cylinder, you want to draw a rectangle, and then you put an ellipse on the top and a half ellipse on the bottom, unless it's transparent like a tumbler, and then you would see the full ellipse. So I'm just drawing here ellipses at different angles so that the top is more like a circle or less like a circle, depending on how much you've tilted the cylinder. Now I'm inking them in just so that you can see. So the first one is basically a rectangle. And you could go all the way through and you would end up with just seeing a circle, which would just be the top if you were looking flat on to a cylinder. Now we're going to draw that very elusive at the moment and humble item, a toilet roll. So look at it and see the ellipse on the top. In fact, it's got 2 because it's got an inner one as well as an outer one. And if you look at it flat on, so just looking down the top, then it's a circle again. And then go all the way through and you will come back to a circle at the other end. So for this, I don't want to draw it as a circle. I want to draw it so that you can see the ellipse, or ellipses, as there's 2. Now, as I've done with other drawings in this, I am drawing the basic outline. So there's the top ellipse, and then the second one, which is slightly off centre. I should have centred it. And then the sides and the edge. My light source is coming from the right, so that will mean that the centre cardboard inner tube is the darkest, and it will be at its darkest where the light is casting a shadow on it, and the left hand side of the toilet roll will again be the darkest, coming to light on the other side. Now, although the paper is white, in order to show that the top is where the light is, I'm leaving the top white, but I am colouring in the rest of the toilet roll with, again, where the shadow is the darkest, and I'm just trying to put a few of the little creases in it. And if you noticed, I'm colouring up and down and also around, and I'm following the contours as I did when we coloured in the sphere a couple of weeks ago. You always need to try to make something look its shape by following the contours with your shading. Just tidying up. And now I'm going to put the shadow in, and remember, the shadow will be its darkest, furthest away from the light source, and also where the object meets the surface upon which it is sitting. Quick tidy up of the construction lines and it's finished. Happy Easter everyone, stay safe, stay well, stay home, and part 2 of this video is on Wednesday at 15:30. Bye!